It's the first science of mind class at CSL.
I figured it had to be something special, and then I
The six of us were in taking classes
5 years ago, 6 years ago, screaming out.
Rising up to spread our wings. We're all one in love. We're all one in love.
Well, now everybody knows.
All that we've it up. Refuse with love. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine.
Well, I'm probably going to sit wherever I can find Yeah, and I just hope you get a place whatever. Oh, no, I can't get 3 minutes.
Aloha, everyone! Yay! We're back! Woo! They say home is where the heart is, but I guess my heart's here because this is definitely home. So let's bring our attention in, everybody. Michelle LeMay's off island. I'm Reverend Rita. This is Reverend Patrick, for those of you who don't know us, and Reverend Peter, who brings our beautiful flowers. So we have a few announcements before we start, and if I sound like I'm talking overly loud, it's because I want to make sure we're picked up on them. Are we good? All right, so hi everybody on live stream. Okay, so after, well, first of all, I want to thank Ron Stover. I like Ron LeMay too, but
we'll thank him.
We'll thank him later. Ron Stover and his hospitality team today for making sure this is all organized. And there's a couple of instructions that we've been given by Ron and his beautiful wife, Reverend Suzanne, and that is, don't touch the food until it's time, because they have to have a moment to make sure it's all ready. What do you want to say?
I also need you to write the ingredients and whether it's vegan or organic and stuff like that. Make it easy for everybody to know what
so
to
if
have.
everybody has brought something to let people know if it's vegan or not. Maybe just the vegan ones.
Yeah, I don't
and
think
then
we
we'll
need a
know.
whole writing
Yeah,
of
we
the
just
thing.
the vegan ones or gluten-free ones, and that way people will know they can go to those things if they're vegan or gluten-free. And I think that's better.
Yeah, we've been to the field since we saw you. It's a lot easier there, trust me.
So I want to thank him for that, and thank him for what he does every single solitary Sunday here. Yeah, let's just. And in that thank you, I want to just mention that we need volunteers. He needs volunteers. We don't want him to get burned out, and he just needs help. So if you want to continue to have hospitality at the level that we have it, please look for a way to volunteer. Come see him, come see me, sign the sheet over there, and it would be really wonderful so we can keep our family hospitality going, okay?
Because a lot of times you're out there and you don't understand, that they're washing cups because we want to save our energy and our planet, but I always say if he's the only one doing it, then we will return to the cups. and not the cups that
Anyway,
we have.
so
to
let's
watch.
just
to
keep
help
that in
them
mind,
out.
okay? As you know, there's no men or women's group because we're having our Thanksgiving potluck today. So no women's group. Spiritual Living Circles is this Wednesday, the 21st, with Rebecca DeRuz in Kaua'i, and then at the end of the month on the 28th with Anna Myers, who I don't see her. There she is in Princeville, and you can talk to those two beautiful women if you want to know more about Spiritual Living Circles. And then on Tuesday, November 20th, that's this Tuesday.
Here it goes.
Yeah, I'm bringing you Joe Dispenza. No, I wish I was. Okay, no, but I am bringing one of his meditations that I've learned that really helps me, called Blessing the Energy Centers. And so I would like I'm going to facilitate that on Tuesday evening. It'll be about an hour, that's all, 6:30 to 7:30. And if you'd like to join us for this powerful meditation, I would enjoy having you
Everything is right here.
Everything, right here, yeah. Okay, Patrick.
So, speaking of that, this is the time of year when the world falls in love. No, and this is the time of year that we feel that the healing circles are really important. A lot of emotions, a lot of things come up. Maybe not for this group, but somewhere around the world it does. So we're definitely having our healing circle on the Tuesday the 27th from 7 to 8, and our wonderful Maria Cristina will be with us, playing her angelic music as always. But this is a really good time for us just to take some time to center in. And then we have our holiday annual tree. This is our 6th one, can you believe it? Of tree decorating. So what that means is bring something sweet beside yourself, and bring an ornament if you want to put on the tree. And the third part of that is, this is a tree decorating party. So what that means from father and mother is that the father and mother are not the ones decorating the tree. The children are decorating the tree. There was a little misconception last time, misperception of that last time, but we all decorate the tree. We set it up and then we go for it. And then, I love our spiritual cinema. Did I tell you when it was? November 29th from 6 to 8 p.m.?
That's the
Tree lighting. And then spiritual cinema is Collateral Beauty. I don't know if you've ever seen it with Will Smith. It is powerful, and if you saw it once, you need to see it again, because there's always gems hidden in this one, and we're really happy to do that. Women.
And then last but not least, our Women in Conscious Connection group, or any woman is invited, all right, to our annual holiday potluck luncheon. It's going to be held at my home, but he's going to not be there. So our home, but he won't be there because it's only women. All right.
That's what you
and
think.
It's on December. There have been some men trying to sneak in, but anyway. It'll be hosted by our practitioner core. It's Saturday, December 8th at 11 to 1, and RSVP only. So I can give you our address, and there's a sheet in the back, I believe, or you can go online and when you get our e-blast and sign up that way. All right.
You know, I admire
myself.
Michelle every time we have to do these. I admire her even more because she makes it seem so effortless, right? So it's a lot to get in there. So here we are. So we all good with the announcements?
I just left that. Okay. I left my paperwork in the back. That's really interesting. Well, that's okay because I don't need it. I don't need it. No, I don't need it. Okay, so I wanted to share something with you that some of you probably already know, and but I want to do this today with us. It's called a mind-heart connection, coherence, whatever you want to call it, where we still our minds and go into our hearts. And it comes from the philosophy of heart math, but we did it in our retreat, and I thought it would be really powerful for the peace candle that we light every week. There's a lot going on in the world right now. And just when we were on our trip, there was a shooting and then all those fires in California that we were directly hit by because we have friends back there who lost friends and all kinds of things. So what I know about this mind-heart coherence is that we can bring our hearts together for a moment and really actually make a difference. So I'm going to invite us to, if we feel comfortable, to close our eyes and just follow my instructions for a moment. And I'm going to close my eyes. And we're just going to move our attention out of the world, of the relative world, the conditions and what we see around us. Just let go of all of that just for a moment. and move our attention from our mind to our heart space. And we can do that more easily by possibly putting our hand on our heart. Sometimes that helps. So let's just take a moment to let go of that and move into our heart space. And just trust that we can do that if we've never done it before. It's quite simple, really. And then, as we move in there, we're going to slow down our breathing. And we're going to do that by taking about 5 counts to breathe in. Hold it for a moment. And breathe out on 5 counts. We do that a couple of times, and what that lets us know is that we're safe. It just says, I am safe. So as we continue to breathe in that manner, slowly, in and out, in order to anchor this, the powerful thing is to come up with a feeling that you can bring up when you want to center in your heart. A feeling of gratitude, a feeling of care, a feeling of compassion, appreciation. Sometimes it's easier to do this if you think of something or someone that brings that forth for you. It could be something as easy as a pet that you love to hold, a person you love, part of nature. And just allow that to permeate your being, bringing up the feeling of compassion, or gratitude, or care, or whatever feeling goes right to you. So let's just anchor there for a moment. And so, gently as we bring ourselves back, I just know that by taking this moment to be centered in our hearts, we have lifted the consciousness already within ourselves and within all beings and all of creation. We do make a difference. And we can do this anytime that we choose. And then just let it go, and so it is. Thank you. Wow, that's really awesome. Thank you.
You know, what's interesting is that now that I'm in a total mellow state, this work, it's interesting, it feels so like it's individual, but I could actually feel the heartbeat of everybody in the room. That's how powerful the collective consciousness can be, that you can be sitting there and just standing there with your heart and feel everyone else's heart once you drop into it. First it's all about me, which I like actually, and then all of a sudden it just drops in and everyone's in that same field. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
So, welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, Kauai, where now I know for sure we practice quantum physics. We call it the science of mind and spirit. It's called many things, but we're all in it and we are practicing it. And I'm just grateful to know that people all over the world know that that there's a place within us that is a creative place, that we're all connected in that creative place, and that we can change our lives, and thus by changing our lives, actually change the consciousness around us in the world. So that's basically what we teach. So, hey, it's time, guys. I'm so grateful. Yeah, so.
Yes, very grateful. And before I move on to some business, I just want to also say thank you to everyone who took care of the house while we were gone. Took care of this beautiful home, made it all just perfect while we were gone. It's always a relief to be able to go away and know that everything is, that you're all taken care of. That's what Mom and Dad feel when we're gone. So, who is here for the first time? Please raise your hand. There you go. Welcome, 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 welcome. Okay, well, here's the deal. Oh, I love this part. We know lots about you, and you're thinking, how's that possible? How is that possible when we've never been here before? We have ways. We have ways. So we're going to let you know what we know about you, if you don't mind, and we'll share it with everyone, including live streaming. That means everyone will know now. So shall we? Okay. You are magnificent. Yes. Yes, you are. And I bet you're wondering how we got that information. Well, we downloaded it first with ourselves. And we already found out that we were magnificent, so we figured that if we're magnificent, then everything we're looking at is magnificent. So shall we all say it together? I am magnificent. Now, I mentioned live streaming. That means that everything that happens here today doesn't stay here. It goes out into the ethers, into the world, and everybody gets to know what we're doing here, thanks to Rob and thanks to Jonathan back there. So there's a lot of people watching. They watch every week. And how do I know? Because they call and say, oh, I couldn't hear that, I couldn't hear this, I couldn't hear that. And they send the wonderful emails, and the best emails they send are, thank you so much for letting us be a part of this center when we're not there. So shall we let them know who they are? There we go. You are magnificent. Now, look to your left, to your right. I don't care where you look, just let somebody know who they are. She's magnificent. Katie's magnificent. Jack is magnificent. Now let's get on our magnificent feet if you want to, and we'll have our opening songs, Maria, Christina, and Luis.
I want to say thank you. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. My abundant, my abundant, my abundant life. My abundant, my abundant, my abundant life.
So what I know right here and right now is that I am totally grateful, and I do say thank you, sweet spirit, within me, within each and every person here. I am grateful for this time together, for this gathering, knowing that we are lifting consciousness in every moment as we come together as one heart. And so I'm grateful for this time and all that transpires here. I know that I am touched by it, and each and every person is touched in their own unique way. And whatever is needed in their life or required, they find something here that helps and assists. So that's what my prayer, and I know that that is coming to pass right here and right now. I feel the love, I feel the energy, I feel the goodness, and I just take this word I've spoken and I release it into that universal law, knowing that it says yes to me as we affirm together, and so it is.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful 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 day.
Aloha, everyone. I'm going to lead you in your meditation today. My name is Malia Reed. I'm a licensed religious science practitioner, and I'm just happy to be here. And so we're going to do our meditation, but first we're going to do a little quote. And I'd like to invite everyone to get comfortable in your chair, and invite you to, if you want to close your eyes, that would be great. If not, just whatever works. Feeling comfortable in your chair, knowing that you're in a safe place, feeling your earth on your feet, just knowing your feet are grounded into the earth. Taking some deep breaths. And from Rumi, out. ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. There's one presence and one power in the universe, in the field and everywhere, that I call God, that I call good, and this presence that I call love, light, beauty, is all powerful, all knowing, and everywhere present. And because this power is everywhere present, this power is in the ocean, and the mountains, and the babies, and the flowers, out in the universe, to the far reaches of the universe, and beyond and beyond. There is no spot where God is not. And what I know for each and every person here today is perfect health. Just knowing that there's perfect health for everyone here, I am so grateful. And just knowing that everyone here has avalanches of abundance, amazing relationships, and physical and mental and spiritual well-being. Just claiming that right here and right now. Just knowing that the highest good is here right now in this very moment. And I am so eternally grateful for this place that's the field that's inside of us and that's out there, that's everywhere present. And I just say mahalo, mahalo, mahalo. And I release my word to the law that says law, that is the law. And as we say together, and so it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Malia. Turn to your programs. We have a song to sing together by Karen Drucker.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am. Letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes to see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
Thank you. I feel really emotional. It's interesting because I just looked at Desiree and she knew what I went through because she's gone through the same thing. And yeah, I would just highly recommend it to anyone that wants to go deeper. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Patrick and I experienced 4 long days from 9 to 9 at night with Greg Braden and Bruce Lipton, 2 amazing geniuses in the science and spiritual world, who brought just everything I already knew back to me in a deeper way and more reinforcement of what I've always known. and coming from people with very amazing deep hearts that really believe in what they're doing, as I do. And it just helped to be in that room with all people from all around the world that were there at a time of crisis on our planet, which is very obvious. It just came at the perfect time. We had just experienced the shootings in Thousand Oaks and the fires in California, and we were walking into this conference, and there was a lady sitting in front of me that said, she was an older woman, not too much older. I say older woman now, I have to be careful. Anyway, anyway, whatever she was beautiful, and she was from Rochester. And she had never been to anything like this before and really didn't know anything about science of mind or, New Thought or Greg Braden or quantum physics or anything. And she said, I am so grateful because I can go back home now and I have some tools that I can use to deal with all this. And that's what I want to talk about today, because I can't tell you everything that happened there because I probably have a year's worth of talks, which is good. So I'm just going to focus on like one thing today, and that's the idea of the field, which we call the one mind, the one spirit, God. You can be called whatever you want. Consciousness. It's a field, and it's not just out there. We are in it. We are it. And Ernest Holmes wrote, there is one infinite mind from which all things come. This mind is through, in, and around man, woman. It is the only mind there is, and every time we think, we use it. That's Ernest Holmes. And then on this conference that I went to, they called the field the invisible forces that influence the physical world. The invisible forces that influence the physical world. And there is a unified field that appears to bathe all of creation. It is called quantum hologram, nature's mind, the mind of God. This energy appears to be the living canvas upon which the events of our lives are inscribed. Think about that, the living canvas on which the events of our lives are inscribed. Well, if they're inscribed, somebody's inscribing them. And that would be us. We are inscribing this field in every single solitary moment there can only be one thing that we're inscribing it with. It's not about what we do. It's about what we think and what we believe and how we show up in the world from that place. And there is nothing too great for this power that we are. We've been sold like a bill of goods, we talk about this all the time, for centuries now, that we're not powerful and that we have to rely on outside forces. And now we're seeing everything coming together, clashing and causing all this pain and discord and everything. And all it is chaos. But within that chaos, we have to have the chaos because we have to unfold, we have to have it in order to evolve. Right now, that's the way we evolve now, is we get chaos and we get to a point where we have to do something, or we end up extincting. I guess, I don't know, Bruce Lipton said they were on the verge of the sixth mass extinction of this thing called life, the species that we are. I don't know about you, but I think it's time. But the only way we can do it, only way we can get through this time is that we start coming up with a new way of dealing with it. We can't stop another shooting from happening. We can't stop a fire from igniting. We really can't. If we think that's what we have to do in order to be okay, then we're in big trouble, because we can't do that. But what we can do, and which will eventually, everything will cease and peace will come, peace will come, is if we change our perception of it, and if we adapt, adapt to what's happening from a higher place. So instead, when we're this field, right, we're all inscribing in it, right? What are we inscribing? Are we adding to the negativity, or are we taking that and adding our love to it, our knowing, our comfort to these people that are suffering. We can't really stop them from suffering. This is not about stopping our feelings. We all have to feel our feelings. This is horrendous what people are going through, and I can't even imagine it, nor do I want to. But we're going to add to it if we continue to get angry, if we continue to think it's hopeless, because what we have to do instead is to know and to pray. People say they don't want our prayers. Well, I learned I already knew because we have spiritual mind treatment, and it's the same thing they were talking about at this conference, which is what prayer is a feeling that has already happened. And for my practitioners in the room, ministers, whoever's here, you know that when we treat, it's the feeling behind the treatment to know that it's already happened is what creates the new life. So people will say, oh, that's really hard to do when I'm in the middle of a disease or I'm in the middle of some catastrophe in my life. Well, that's why we're here. Because we get to influence the field by knowing it for them if we have to, and to help them through it. We don't just stop them and go, no, you need to feel like you're already healthy and they're sitting there, riddled with cancer or something, right? But we can see. And I know for myself, like, when I was on this trip, I just tested it in little ways. You all know I get nervous when I fly. But what I did was, instead of getting nervous, I just kept seeing the outcome of my ending of the journey, how I was going to be with my cat. When I was coming home, I was like, oh, I'm going to be holding Krishna, and it's going to feel so good. And I started to create the feeling. That's how I created my home, was creating the feeling of what it would feel like to be in that new home, even though it was nowhere in sight. But I just kept at it. Going there, I kept imagining myself sitting in the chair at the conference, and it was already done. That's what we're talking about here. So if we can do that, we can influence the field in a different way. And then the other thing is, the negativity, we can feed it negativity just as easily, right? And also, we might go, well, there's a lot of, some people ask me that sometimes. They're like, well, there's a lot of negativity out there. How do I, not buy into that? Like, for instance, not that it's negative, but it's disease. It wasn't alignment. I started to feel nauseous when I got there. And I thought, why am I feeling nauseous? I'm certainly not going to go into this conference sick, that's for sure. So I treated, for my perfect health and everything, and it subsided. But when I got to New Mexico, and I saw my granddaughter, 2 of them had stomach flu. Now, I did not know that, right? I didn't know that. I didn't know anything besides that I felt nauseous. So obviously, it proved to me that you're connected to the people closest to you, especially, right? Because you pick up their vibrations and everything. So what do you do for that? Well, the answer to that thing is that you always have a choice. Like, I had a choice in that moment, even though I didn't know what was going on, that was where it was coming from. I just knew I felt nauseous. I had a choice to not align with that. So there's lots of stuff going on in this field of energy that we get the choice of whether we want to align with it or not. That's why we have choice. Otherwise we'd be walking around like, robots, just letting anything happen to us, letting ourselves feel angry, feel this, feel that. We are always a choice. I think that is one of the other things I got out of this, is they said it over and over. You are a choice. You are a choice of what you think. You are a choice of how you respond. It's not about what's happened. It's how you respond to it and how you react to it, and can you come from a place of love. And if I learned anything, it just reaffirmed that for me so strongly, that it's all perception. It's like we have all this energy that we're grabbing with our sensors and our receptors, I don't know all the scientific terms, and we get to choose what we're gonna do with that. And I'm gonna talk more about it next time, because there's parts about the body and our physiology were just like fascinating to me, that, we get to direct all this. We are the directors, but what's happened is we've been sold a bill of goods that we have no power, and that we're not, and that we have to rely on this, and we have to rely on that, and that one made me mad, and damn the person at the traffic light, that, and all that stuff. We just have created a civilization that's responsive to the outside world. And now what we're being called to do, if we want to move through this time of crisis, because I'm telling you guys, it is a time of crisis. We know it. They said it, conflict, climate, I can't remember what the third one is. That conflict, climate, and something else have all come together at the same, climate, conflict, I wrote it down, but it was on me and the rest. Whatever the third thing is, I'll tell you later. They've all come together at the same time. So this is a huge shift for this planet. And we are the ones. We're all here, so we must all have something to do. And the most important thing is not about what we do, it's about who we are when we show up. It's about who we are and what we are being. That is what it is. It's not about going out and trying to fix other people or fix things. It's about showing up as the presence of love and the presence of peace and the presence of compassion. I'm sure some of you know this, that there's people that can actually live to be 200 and have lived to be 200 and over years because they practice things like love and compassion. I don't even know if I want to live 200 years, but I'll let you know next time I give my next talk. But what I'm trying to say is it's up to us, and we've been stripped in some cases of our power because we've given it over. And I think when, and I know we're not supposed to talk politics, and I don't know what everybody's political beliefs are, but I am going to say this one thing. When President Trump said he was going to make America great again, it might not have been in the way that he thought, because we are great. And I think that all this chaos and all this confusion, all these things that we're so angry about have caused us to rise up and go within and realize that we can make a difference. Not by going out there and fighting it, but by being more. So if I had any message from this thing that I went to, it would be, oh, thank you. Let me see if it's here. I don't even know what it is. Well, you know what? I didn't write it there. Maybe I wrote it somewhere else, but it doesn't matter. I don't want to get off it. Anyway, what I want to say is that we are powerful. Thank you, Deb. And that we don't, please, I invite you not to give your power away. I invite you that every time you're tempted to realize that you have everything that it takes to move through this chaos, as Greg put it, into coherence. Because chaos is necessary. Because if we don't have chaos, we are in habit. But beyond the chaos is the coherence. It's causing us. Does that make sense? Yeah. So we've got everything it takes. If I got anything from this, it was that I came out with a feeling that I knew that I was here for a particular purpose. I might not know all of what it is, but I knew I was the right person that showed up at this era in our history of humankind to be here for this. And I know that you would not be here if you weren't those people too. So find what it is within yourself. That's where you're going to find it. You're not going to find it. You're going to find it by going inside yourself. That's what it's all about. That's what the mystics have told us century after century after century. And I guess we're not going to be in the mass extinction. That's what I know, and that's what I continue to know. So thank you. I'm breathing. I am so grateful, and I'm so grateful to be home. Thank you. Aloha.
Some say love is like a river that drowns the tender reed. Some say love can be like a razor that could leave someone to bleed. Some say love, it is a hunger, an endless aching need. Some say love, it is a flower, and you is sown to seed. It's the heart afraid of breaking that doesn't learn to dance. It's the dream afraid of waking that doesn't take the chance. It's the one who won't be taken, who finds it hard to give, and the one afraid of dying that doesn't learn to live. When the night has been so lonely and the truly meet it. Some know the most powerful force in the universe is love.
Art is the most powerful, right? It's so interesting. I have so many thoughts coming in because when you go into these 4-day submersions or whatever they want to call it, you're like, I have to tell you, if you could film me when on day 2, and then Bruce is a very exciting guy, and he's like, New Orleans, and I was like, and it wasn't that I felt like I wasn't understanding, which I wasn't all the time. It was just so much information that I was downloading, and I had that glazed feeling of, oh, we need a break so badly right now. And then it would always just work out fine, but it reminded me of, I thought I was going to, is everyone familiar with The Wizard of Oz? Remember when like the scarecrow got his brain? And all of a sudden he was like, what do I know with this one and the neurons? And he started like thinking that was intelligence. And then one of the quotes in there is, there's a lot of people with brains that aren't doing that great a job at it. And I thought to myself, oh, I'm supposed to come back more intelligent, right? I'm supposed to come back with this knowledge. Not, exactly. And did I tell you how much I miss all of this? Did I tell you that? So what I realized is I said, well, what did you actually receive in your heart? Well, how are you going to use this? And I, on the other hand, was rather congested when I got there. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't know it because I lost count at about 10,000 times that I blew my nose. But it happened like day after day after day after day. And so I checked in constantly to say, what's going on here, man? The sneezing thing is good. And then you're all worried about your people next to you, you know? Because they're like going, wow, this guy got a cold or something, you know? And that's not what they said, but that's what I felt they were saying, because all we do is assume most of our life away anyway. But what I got from that was I said, babe. That's how I talk to myself now. Babe. What is it that you're resisting? Because I was resisting something. And I could tell that I was just getting so full. And it wasn't until afterwards, when we went to go see Bohemian Rhapsody, oh, hello, where they serve like burgers and beer while you're actually like watching the movie. But I digress. I would like to be more intelligent on this conversation. But all I know is that I really got it. That I was resisting something that I needed to actually hear. And I want to share this little scene with you, because this is what I got from going there, is that we're all a bunch of misfits. Doesn't that make you feel good now? We're misfits, and it's a beautiful thing. We have the opportunity, and Rita is absolutely right. This is the time that the misfits are going to come forth now. And not in rebellion, not with hate versus hate, but here's the scene. And if you haven't seen the Bohemian Rhapsody, I would suggest it's still here on the island. You must see it, because we have to go back. I couldn't understand when people say, oh, I'm on my 3rd time. I'm going, really? And but I understand it now, because there are so many hidden gems in that movie that you will know. And here's one. So there's this powerful recording producer, right, John Reed. And it's just a little scene with them that I'm going to act out for you in interpretive dance. No, so John Reed says to him, so, tell me, what makes Queen any different from all the other wannabe rock stars I meet? That was a British accent, just in case you wanted to know. This is what Freddie Mercury says. I'll tell you what it is, Mr. Reed. Now, we are 4 misfits who don't belong together. We're playing for the other misfits. They're the outcasts, right at the back of the room. We're pretty sure that they don't belong either. We belong to them. And that is exactly how I felt when I left that movie. That all this, who knew that Rhapsody, Bohemian Rhapsody, would tie up Bruce Lipton and Greg Brady so beautifully for me. But what I got from it was this field that we all live in. And nothing was said new. I hate to break it. Nothing was said new. It was said in a new way. It was said in a new way. Have you ever experienced that? You're like, oh my God, I get that all the time. You will not believe that. But they talk about the presence as being one. And so said that. I'm thinking, yeah, like what we said for the last 5 years on this very, very place, right? So I had so much information. And I can feel it like swirling around. But it was so beautiful. Because before in my life, I would have thought seeing Bruce Lipton and everything was for the intelligent people. That's my buttons. Oh my God, I'm going into a scientist. He knows so much more than me. No, it didn't work out that way. He's exactly telling us, and he's saying to us, it's time for us. The misfits are this. And then there is a wonderful, if I can find it, which I don't. But basically what it was that the idea of a misfit is just somebody who behaves differently from everyone else and thinks differently than everyone else. Do you know any of those people? And it isn't about for the sake of just thinking differently for the sake of thinking differently. I really got clear on that. This isn't about I'm right and you're wrong, and I know that no one wants to hear it. But when I left there, I could feel that there was such an enlightenment going on in this field. And this is what, 4 days, and he says there's two things that happen. We open with, I just want everyone to know, this is all an illusion. And I'm thinking to myself, that's what the hell I paid for? None of this is real? And I paid all this money and we're all this, it's an illusion. No matter what's going on, my friends, it's an illusion. And I'm like looking around going, wow. Wow, we pay a lot for our illusions, don't we? We pay a lot for them. And at the end, after Bruce is doing all of this stuff, he comes out and says, everybody keeps going, what's the field, what's the field, what's the field, what's the field? Because we want a new name for something we've always had. It's called consciousness. We've been saying it since the beginning of time. And Science of Mind and Spirit actually lives by that only. We are only consciousness. And it's what we do with this consciousness that counts. It's what we do with this thing called love. So it was a beautiful balance between two gentlemen who one came from, all of his science. He's quite excited about it, and he gets very passionate about it, and he gets people riled up, and he doesn't mean to, but at the very end, this is what he says. He says it's just the field. It's called love. That's the power that we all live in. But I think we want something different, and there's a lot of, I saw a lot of workshop junkies there. Have you ever seen a workshop junkie? I have been one, so I understand what it looks like. I think what we're really being asked to do right now is to own our own power. I think that's what Greg and Bruce were saying over and over. It is time to use what we have. And when I brought up junkie, I do that for fun, because before day 2 was over, I was talking to everyone, and we're digesting it and processing it, and everyone's talking about the next retreat, the next conference, and we haven't even digested this one yet. And I see that happening a lot, don't you? You go to do something, and then you're feeling so good about it, but you can't wait to get to the next aha, the next book. I mean, my God, what are we're walking out with 100 books, well, 6, but. And that's what I'm feeling about this, is that I thought, we are, one thing is that I realize that Rita and I are on the absolute right track. We have been saying this, and what it was an affirmation, a reaffirmation, that we have been swimming in the field for all of us. And it's ready, and I was blessed too, because I felt like I could really feel what was happening in the planet. And until we can sit here and brace yourself, fasten your seatbelts, this might be a bumpy ride for you. But until we can own what's going on in this world, we will never be free of it. We will continually be in turbulence. We will continually be in a plane that we're not sure is going down at any minute. And that's what I got in my very heart center. Here's that emotional part of Patrick, where the truth, the real truth and nothing but the truth comes out. So help me God. This has got to stop. We have got to take our power back. We have been programmed and programmed and programmed since we were very, very small. And it's time that we stop bitching about it and pointing our fingers at who programmed us. Here's the deal. We know we were programmed. We can stop at any time and reprogram. But let me tell you, it takes a lot of time to reprogram. And it would be really fabulous if we could pay the money, go to these concerts. Wow, still back at Rhapsody. If we could go to these conferences and these retreats and walk out and say, yeah, I got it. But what if I didn't get anything out of this? I got that we need nothing more. We've had it all. We will always have it all. And we can use it, but we must use it. And until we can say, here's the bumpy ride now, thank you. Thank you for this upheaval. Thank you for waking us up. Thank you. All of you beautiful people, I can never change. That's what I got. I can never change these people, those people that are supposedly doing. Then what we have to do, everyone is trying with everything, from climate change to everything else, to try to reinvent what we've been doing forever. And we can't do it anymore. It's saying we need something new. We need to love one another. And I'm going to, here I go. It is that powerful. And this complacency that I have lived in, actually politically, for many, many years before BC. Before now, is something different. There's a spiritual revolution going on. And we have left spirit to the last. We have, every time something has come up, we're going to fix it in the form. And as I say in our sessions, anybody who's had a session with me, we do not, and I repeat, and now I really know, we do not work in the world of the physical. The physical comes second. Spirit comes first, that power comes in, and then we make physical moves. We let it fill us. We make our decisions based on love. We make our decisions based on life, on the field. What is it? What is it? Now that we know our heart is connected to our brain in such a powerful way, what is it? When we think with our brain, we're confused. We're confused. Analyze it, analyze it. Let's put it off for another 3 years. The heart says, move. Don't move. Love. What do I need to do? I'm in conflict. Shut up. Shut up. Stop thinking. Thoughts change your life, they do. But they can't do that if you're constantly thinking, analyzing. I'm going to really figure this one out. Ask your heart. You're getting ready for a move? What do I need to do? I'm scared right now. Know that you're loved. What do I need to do? Because the heart doesn't take all that time. It just processes. Wow. Look who we are. Look who we are. My last one, I came back a little bit more, because it was more of a retreat. I got to relax. I came back with all this energy. I came back a little mature. I know, don't let it fry you, it won't last long. And so what I know about this is that it is more than time. You have everything. Everything you have ever needed. Everything in every cell is working in your behalf. Everything is working for your highest good. You want to be healthy. 50 trillion cells. Do your thing, baby. Go through my body and let it just, have your way with my health. Have your way with me. I remember when that was a horrible thing to say. But now that's my new mantra. The field, consciousness, call it whatever you want. Have your way with me. And I'll end with, this is what I ask my heart. How do I get to serve? What do I need to do? Because CSL's in the middle of it, an incarnation of its own as well. What do I need to do? And the answer was, be yourself, Patrick. Be that beautiful, wonderful, powerful man that has never needed anything but just to remember. And tell them. Don't force them. Show them through your own life. Be an example. You want this world to be peaceful? Take a good look at yourself. And have every moment filled with peace. You want love in your life? Love more. You want more money? Give more. Give. You want more creativity? Create. You want to speak? You want to do whatever? Go out on the corner. They're all doing it. Go do it. And then you have a home to come home to here that says, we love you. Let's fill up and let's take it out in the world. We can't hide anymore. We're done hiding. I love you, Lila. Thank you, my friend. All right. I am almost complete. You know, this is the part of my life that I miss the very most when I'm gone. How do I get back to that? I love you all. It has been a wonderful journey. It is so good to be home. I'd have to say, for the first time in my life of leaving this island, I was actually homesick. Unfortunately, I had a little bit of the sick part, but I was actually homesick. And I had not really felt that before because I knew I was coming home. But I was like, I want to come home now. I need to come home. So I love you. It is good to be home. You've got the power, man. Let's do it. Let's do it. Namaste.
Okay. Hey, it's all good. Yes. Okay, so it's our time of giving, and we are appreciative of CSL receiving so much abundance. We are just overflowing in abundance, and I always know that. I always trust and have faith in that, and I know we all do. So knowing that as you put your, whatever donation you put in today, whatever it is, just really put it in with your full heart, knowing that you are that abundance, you are that gift, you are, and your life is blessed in the giving and in the receiving. So thank you in advance. And let's do our affirmation and really take the words in. I freely and joyously give from the abundance and fullness of my overflowing wealth, knowing my gift goes with love as it touches and blesses Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, my life and the world, and so it is. Yes.
And join us, it's in your program.
Simple words.
I am so blessed.
I am so blessed.
I am
I am so blessed. We're not done yet. Grateful for all that I have. We can't give too much gratitude. So blessed, I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have.
I am so blessed, and we are all so blessed because there's so much goodness in the universe and so much goodness here, and I'm grateful and happy and elated for the abundance that comes into this basket and for the abundance of the love that's here right now. And I just say mahalo, 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 aloha. So it is.
Okay, as they're coming to get the kids, I got a couple
All
of things that were up here. We have the mental equivalent. I just want to let you know that's very much what we were talking about. Mental equivalent. And that's up there. It's $2. Put it in your pocket. It's something to read while you're in, well, not while you're in traffic, but never mind. But your word is your wand. We still have some of these copies left, and they just wanted their, I think, $9, it looks like. This is everything we talk about, but put in that simplicity. Giving simplicity. And as Ernest Holmes says, we make a riddle. What is our
simplicity?
Simplicity.
It's all simple. All right, do we have children? Yes,
Yes,
no?
we do.
Where are they?
They're on their way.
Okay,
Which
while we're
reminds
waiting-
us of Ron. Don't forget, there's a sign-up sheet in the back if you want to give Ron a hand. That would be lovely. And how's our building fund going? I think we have some
Right
more.
now, we have over $4,000 in there.
There you go.
Yeah,
Change makes a difference. Change.
so, pretty good, right?
And here they come.
It is multiplied. Here they come. Oh my goodness, there's a good group today. A large group today.
Of my camera, so anybody's got any paparazzi moments, do it. Is that my Beckham over there?
And Ruby and Lily and Kiale and Malia. Hey guys. Yeah, okay. Want me to hold it for you?
Yes, hi guys, happy Sunday. We had a lot of fun exploring oneness, and we made loving kindness chains where we put two people it was easy for us to love, two neutral people, and two people or things that might not be so easy, and we came up with a blessing, and we want to share the blessing with you, and we'll also use it throughout the week on our loving kindness chains. Okay, so you guys want to read together? Okay, on three. A 1, 2, 3. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. And above the you, we have I, because we practice also sending it to ourselves.
Wonderful. Thank you. What? Yay, thank you, Janice. Oh, I'm sorry, I was standing in front of you back then. Nothing to say?
Yeah, I do this all by myself.
Me?
Whose name did you have on there? He had someone.
Banana lady. Oh, you've got George on there.
Yes.
And
Beckham.
Beckham, Lily, and who's that? Richard. Oh, we're Banana Lady? Okay. You'll have to explain that one to me. All right. I'm sure it has totally makes sense. You'll tell me. All right. Okay, so let's give them their blessing. It's in your program. You are amazing. You are perfect. You are magnificent. And we love you. Yes, thank you. Thank you. It's true. Send it out into the world, all the children in the world. Oh, thank you. So, do you have some practitioners that are serving today? And no, there's no practitioners today? Oh, Roseanne, are you coming up, honey? All right. And Rob back there, and who else? I guess we only have 2 practitioners. Okay. Oh, that's because Reverend
Malia.
Peggy and Reverend Diane are gone. Malia, are you serving today, aren't you?
just serve up.
Serve
for this,
first, and then we'll open the bookstore later. Okay, and we're gonna be eating anyway, so.
That's right. And remember the eating rule, that even though the song is going, don't get up till the end of the song. Because whenever we say, and so it is, that will be your eating
Just take
time.
your cue from Reverend Suzanne back there.
Yeah, she's that, right, Reverend Suzanne?
She's the one with the beautiful hair and the beautiful smile, and she's not, I think she hears me. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so, practitioners, here they are. And practitioners are basically doing the prayer for you, the feeling of it already having happened. They pray the solution. So please, if you have anything you want to know in your life that may be a little off kilter, come enjoy a spiritual mind treatment from these beautiful people. All right, so that being said, I think we're ready. Yes? All right. We have a beautiful song, so let's sit up, stand up, and sing
Sit up
it.
and stand up.
Let's sit up and sing.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. Love is my source, love is my power, love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, love gives me everything I need. Love is my source, love is my power, love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, love gives me everything I need. Joy is my source, joy is my power, joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, joy gives me everything I need. Joy is my source, joy is my power, joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, joy gives me everything I need.
And as we continue to bathe in this sea of gratitude, what I know is that we are blessed in everything. With every breath is a blessing. And so we bless right here and right now this wonderful Malia for the wonderful practitioner work she did with our meditation and our spiritual mind treatment. Rob Jones, who works overtime, you just don't see him, making sure that this live stream happens, so we give our thanks to Rob. And Jonathan, making sure that we can be heard. And I know that we are heard from that place of spirit. And Ron Stover and that team back there that is strictly watching and guarding the table as I speak, knowing that it is guarding, love guard. And we just say thank you, Maria, Christina, and Luis. Thank you for every week giving us just such beautiful music. Our Malama team today was Maureen, Deb, and Jackie Turner. We say thank you. We say thank you. Flowers that just, magically appeared from Peter and Arlena. Thank you ever so much. And Janice and George always take such good care of our children. And I just want to thank everyone online there watching and being a part of us. But most of all, I want to thank each and every one of you for having the courage, for being the true loving misfits that each and every one of you are, and to be proud of it, to stand up for it, to say, yes, I think differently, I feel differently, and I am so spiritually proud of it. So knowing that, I just say, let's get out of the way and let's have at it. Let's have this thing called love express itself through and as us. I know the Spirit is having its way, and I'm so grateful for that. So we just release it, we let it go, as together we affirm, and so it is.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
This is my source, this is my power, this gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, this gives me everything I need. This is my source, this is my power, this gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, this gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need.